guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl, Okewumi, and you are on to the Wumi's Talk Show. And as you can see today, I'm not alone. I have my wonderful friend with me here.
My name is TEMITOPE. I'm a student of University of Lagos, a psychology major.
We rep everywhere.
A mental health blogger, a dyslexia advocate. I'm also the creator of my neurodiverse world, and I'm dyslexic.
As you can see, it's written boldly. Okay, what's on your shirt?
Dyslexia is not a disability, it's just a different ability.
Wow, that's a jam. Dyslexia is not a disability, it is just a different ability.
Yeah.
Anyways, as we all know, this is the month of October and it is Dyslexia Awareness Month, and that's why we are doing this video to make people aware of the things that dyslexics go through, how they don't have enough support, especially here in Nigeria where we live, and how the university system can help to support these people. So that's the purpose of today's interview. But anyways, in case you are just watching my videos for the first time, a very big welcome to you. You're welcome to my channel. My channel is very spontaneous, and so if you want to get amazing videos like this, make sure you hit the red subscribe button, turn on your post notification bell right beside the subscribe button, leave a comment, and also give this video a thumbs up. So let's get straight into the video. Welcome back, guys. So we want to know you, TEMITOPE. Yeah, we want to know you. Tell them about you.
Well, like I said, I study psychology. I'm in 200 level. I create written content on mental health and most especially dyslexia, ADHD. I also have a mental health blog called myneurodiverseworld.com. You can check it out. I also just launched an NGO.
Wow, that's
Voice
amazing.
for Dyslexia Africa.
Wow.
To create awareness.
Do you have a page on Instagram?
Yeah, Voice for Dyslexia Africa. Alright.
That brings me to because if like the first time I heard the word dyslexia, it was TOPE that brought it to my notice, because she was like, oh, this is the situation, and I'm like, what is dyslexia? And I went to make my own research anyways, and so that's how many of you here watching this video just be like, what are they talking about? So can you just give them like a layman, like something that anybody would understand? Can you just tell us what dyslexia is?
Dyslexia is like a combination of difficulties and also abilities, that affect how we learn in reading, in writing, in spelling, in pronouncing words. We have struggles, but we also have amazing strengths. We struggle with I struggle with confusion with left and right. I mispronounce words or misplace letters. I have problems with time organization, attention.
Basically, dyslexia has to do with having some kind of difficulties in learning.
Yes, basically in learning.
Basically in learning. Okay. So how did you find out that you had dyslexia, and just share that story, just very short, but just tell us how you found out that you were dyslexic. Did you get tested? Did you have to see a therapist, or did you just make your research and you just found out what is happening?
The first time I noticed one of my challenges was when I was in primary 6. I was misplacing letters a lot and the words. I knew what I saw on the board, but I was writing the wrong things. So that's actually one of the myths of dyslexia. People think it's a visual problem. So I actually thought I wasn't seeing well, but it was just my brain was interpreting what I saw. So I struggled throughout secondary school, primary school with my academics, just always trying to stay on that average level or not, or sometimes I failed, And after secondary school, I wrote jams so many times, I wasn't passing it, and then I was at home. And so at that point, I knew that I always knew something was wrong. I always struggled with school, I struggled with everything. I knew I was different from a young age. So now I was beginning to ask questions what could be wrong, what's going on. And at that time, the focus of all my challenges were more of ADHD. And then after ADHD, I was still struggling with school. I thought after the diagnosis that everything would just be fine. So I started seeing a psychologist before that time, and then I now realized after I watched the video on YouTube talking about dyslexia, and I just realized that all these struggles that I thought were just pertaining to me was actually something a lot of people were actually going through, like counting my fingers, like confusion with left and right. So, and then the doctor asked me that, is this the first time, did you just start noticing? I was like, no, this is something that has happened for a very long time.
So apparently you're telling us that you knew that something was wrong at some point because you were having difficulties in all of those things, and then you searched on it first, or you started seeing a psychologist.
Well, I searched on it first. Actually, it was the video that I just came up.
Okay, then you now knew. Then you told your psychologist, and the psychologist confirmed that oh, you were.
This were, yes.
Okay, so how do you now cope with it? Like, do you have support from, because right now, like, you know, some Nigerian parents, let's be realistic, when you tell them that, so one doctor tell me that the reason why I don't used to pass very well, I used to read though, but I don't used to pass at all. The reason is because they say that I have dyslexia. Your mother will first ask you that. So you are trying to justify your failure. Do you understand? So how do you cope with it? When you told your parents, what was their reaction? Your family, your friends, were they very supportive?
Well, you know how, like you said, how Nigerian parents are. They don't even know what dyslexia is. They don't know anything about it. So actually, my dad knew that, okay, you know, prior to dyslexia, I was already seeing a psychologist as per ADHD symptoms. Right. So after the official diagnosis, you know, I told my dad that, oh, I had learning challenges and this and that, you know, and he saw this therapist. Like, well, my dad was very like accepting, you know, he was actually very accepting, and now he actually supports me a lot. You know, he said that yes, so you might have challenges and everything, but you can still.
So your father, your mother, your parents supported you.
Yes.
Your friends?
Well, yes. At least the friends that I have that know, they really help a lot, especially in studying. They help a lot in studying.
That's very amazing. Okay, so like, what was your reaction? How did you feel? Did you beat yourself so hard when you found out that okay, I actually had this thing? And like, what was your own reaction? How did you feel? Did you feel better, or it made you feel like you've been beating yourself so hard over something that you didn't actually know was actually
it's actually mixed feelings, you know, because you struggled so much for a long time, and then when finally there's, you know, actually feel that relief that yes, there's a name for this thing that you're struggling, and you're not alone. You know, there are other people out there, other amazing people out there that have dyslexia and are succeeding and doing great things. So it was more like relief that okay, I know the issue now I can tackle it. And also yes, there's a bit of, you know, regret that why, if I had gotten diagnosed early, maybe I would have gotten the help I needed when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have struggled so much with school. Definitely it's just mixed feelings.
So now that you found that this is what you have, what are your strengths from this thing you found out? Okay, this is, so what are your strengths in dyslexia and your weakness?
Okay, can I start from my strengths? Okay, from my strengths, you know what, dyslexic are amazing. Like, we're very creative, we have innovative minds. You know, I always get to see the bigger picture. Like, I can see, you know, before they actually go into the details, I get to see the whole picture. I'm a very good visual thinker.
Wow, amazing!
A lot, most of the times, you know. But when you now the struggles, when you now comes to putting all those small pieces together to form that huge picture, it becomes like a real struggle. And you know, you don't know whether you're going to see the whole idea through. Also struggling with, you know, people just think dyslexia is just all about affecting your academics, but it's actually more than that. It affects every area of your life. So how you get organized, telling time, you know, coordination, left and right, you're having attention problems. Yeah. So
I remember when I was young, I used to feel embarrassed when they asked me for my left and my right, and I'll still be. The only reason till date, the only reason why I can tell my left from my right is because I fell, and my left leg, I can't bend it. So when they ask me my left, I first look at my leg, then I bend. I say, okay, this is my left, this is my left. Like, that's the only reason that made me like know that part. So now how do you, like, what helps you cope with learning and studying? Like, right now, I know how difficult it must be, because it's like, because you guys are not understanding, dyslexia is more than what you can see. It's actually something that is, if you don't have support, Omo, it be things.
Because,
So apparently, how do you cope with studying?
you know, right now, some of the resources I just found out about, we're still in this pandemic period, so I'm waiting to apply them. But since my diagnosis, I've been trying to use technology like text to speech, or I use colored markers a lot because it really gets my brain to want to actually do stuff. Like, it motivates my brain a lot. So I love my colors. Also learning techniques too. Every time it's like, for dyslexic, we're learning every day to learn how to actually get by things. So I'm trying to always apply one learning technique or the other, because we always have to like put in extra effort than any other person just to like level the playing field, because it's actually not fair. Your mates are moving at a certain pace and you are lagging, so you have to like catch up. So you have to put in a lot of effort.
So how do you read? Is it like you have a particular, like, there's a whole lot of problem mostly in reading when it comes to dyslexia. And so how do you read? Like, how do you understand? How do you assimilate?
Okay, I take, so now if I have a definition, like the way my psychologist was helping me actually. So if I have a definition, he tries to break it into like bits, and she's literally being explicit about each word, so that when I'm in exam and I have to remember the whole definition, I have things to trigger. He also uses real life situations. That's one thing about psychology. It is just real life situations. Yeah. So it uses examples around things that happened, things that actually happened, to actually for me to understand. Like I said, I'm a very good visual thinker. So whatever I like see, or whatever example you give me that's like outside that I can actually experience and see, will be good for me.
Okay, so now, like you said that you wrote JAM like a couple of times before you finally got admission. And JAM, when no one know whether you get this one, you get that one, it doesn't concern them. You have to get all your whole secondary syllabus in your head so that you must write JAM and pass. JAM is an exam that we always write. It's like an entrance examination into the university in Nigeria. So when you finally got into the university, how were you able, would you say you got support? Like, okay, when you entered school, don't lie, you'll be very sincere. What kind of support has your university offered to you? First of all, say the name of your university loud and clear so that they will know. And then tell us if that your university has offered any support, or they have any special support for people that are dyslexic.
Okay, University of Lagos, loud and clear. When it comes to support, let me start with that. When it comes to support, we only give support to things that we can see. That's why you see most of the support people are giving, people that disabled, maybe they are not walking, or one hand is, So it's only mostly people that are like physically disabled, but they don't understand that there are things there are also struggles that we can't see. There are things that go on mentally. There are also there are challenges. So like I said, yes, University of Lagos, there's no support, because even here in Nigeria, people don't know what dyslexia is. People don't know what dyslexia is, so there are no accommodations, there are no interventions for us available in school. Even some of our lecturers cannot understand that there are people that have particular challenges, like even in our faculty, in our department, that these lecturers are actually supposed to know
psychology.
And then a lecturer in class was like, you can't record his teaching in class, like, he's not allowed. But that is something that can really be of help to me. I know they are threatening that you should not if they catch you and this and that. So it's actually sad. There's actually no support from the system at all. There's no support. So basically, I'm just trying to use like set technology, or like I said, my color pens or learning techniques to actually help me to actually like pull through, and like actually make it through school.
That's very sad. The fact that we don't make special amenities for people with conditions like this, and I feel like that's what has affected many of these dyslexics. Because if this support was like has been there in like the educational system, not just the tertiary institutions, like every level from primary school to secondary and then to that level, I feel like if we even started from like the roots, it won't get to this point, because they know that they have been supported like ways through their journey. So how do you cope with like assignments, exams? Because assignment now, no lecturer wants to know whether even if you are sick, assignment is assignment. That's the thing about university. Even if you say you were in the hospital, some lecturers don't care. Do you get? So how do you, like assignments where they give you, oh, you have to do it ASAP, you have to rush,
yeah,
and
or I
then
get what you're
like,
saying, or like in a test, because when it comes to exams and tests, we're supposed to have, like when I say accommodations, like we're supposed to be given extra time, or extra time. Like the one course we did only maths in it, and it was a very like short period of time, and we had to do all these calculations, and that was like too much for my brain because I also had dyscalculia. So I actually need time to actually solve these problems, and we're not giving extra time. So like during tests or during exam, we're supposed to be giving extra time because it takes us a lot of time to actually even understand the question. We have to like break it down, actually understand it before we actually even put our thoughts together to give out the answer like that the lecturer can actually understand. So we and the pressure too. So we don't have those accommodations, we don't have those things. So we just have to deal with what we have. Like the particular course where we had to take maths test, and it was CBT. So, and I had to decompose, everything was on the screen. I had to like count the letters after, and it was just, everything was going on in my head, and it was just anxiety all through, and I didn't even do like, literally, I didn't answer up to 10 questions. So
hope you not carry over.
Thank God. So like that's the struggle, And that day, like after the exam, I just went home. I didn't even talk to anybody. I just literally walked and I went home to cry that God, for the level, I cannot come back carry over this course. But thank God for the test during class, I pulled through. So those are actually the challenges that I go through every now and then with assignments, with exams, with tests. The playing field is not leveled for people that have dyslexia. And there are a lot of people in school struggling with dyslexia. They don't even know. They don't know.
Like they just be wondering, like, why am I different?
Yes, and why and you just think that it is just you. Like these particular struggles are just particular to you, but it's actually not. There's a whole community out there that.
So okay, like during the course of this video, you were mentioning things like ADHD, dyscalculia. I don't know what I know ADHD, but just explain a bit short, like what is ADHD?
Okay, ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. There are three presentations. We have the hyperactivity and impulsivity. We have the inattentive and the combined. So basically, let me just break down. It affects attention. For some people, hyperactivity, mostly boys. Hyperactivity, but for girls, inattention. We're struggling to stay focused on one thing, and we're getting distracted by a lot of things around us. But it's not like we're the only ones, getting distracted. But we're the only ones that will pay attention to those distractions. Okay. So we can't focus on one thing. We have racing thoughts. It's like your mind just keeps jumping from one thought to another. It's like someone else has the remote and it just.
Do you have panic attacks?
Well, I deal with a lot of anxiety due to dyslexia and due to ADHD. I deal with a lot of anxiety. Also hyperactivity, not being able to sit still, racing thoughts, being impulsive. Not like having patience, actually wait and sit in one place. That's hyperactivity.
Nigerian mothers can flog that thing out of your body.
I swear.
What about dyscalculia?
Dyscalculia it's called like math dyslexia. Yeah, so it's more like dyslexia is dealing with the words and letters, while dyscalculia is more
calculations.
Maths, anything maths. So there's this thing they call maths anxiety. Like I said, when I was in that exam for CBT, and it fell upon me. And there's like I said, maths anxiety. Anytime I go shopping, I want to buy something, I'm always feeling anxious because I might not get the calculation of my change right, or if I'm supposed to pick something, I go to my market, I'm supposed to pick like 8 or 10 or 15 of a particular thing. The anxiety comes and I have to start counting. Sometimes I have to count with my fingers to make sure that I actually collect the right change, especially when it's like maybe 275 in between. I have to actually count my fingers and make sure that I actually get the right amount that I'm supposed to collect. So that's basically it.
So with all this being said and done, what would you say to friends and families that are trying to support? There's some people, they don't get patience for all this kind of thing. It means they don't have the patience for all this kind of things. So what would you say to friends and family that are trying to support people with this dyslexia? What would you say to them? How would you say they can contribute in like
I would
helping?
say when it comes to like family, patience, like Patience. Yes, so it's not easy. For you, when you get diagnosed, because you've been struggling with it for a long time, and then it's just like, okay, label is given to it. So you easily accept it because this is something you've been struggling for a long time. Okay, when you bring it to your family, you expect them to be, accepting like you did when you discovered, but they will not easily accept it. They'll be like, you've been okay all these years, so why is that now something is wrong with you? But these things are things that we cannot see. They're things that we cannot see. So we need to be like patient, like very patient. And then Nigerian parents, they take everything very spiritual. They say prayer and fasting and it will be gone, that kind of thing. So because most people look at this thing as, there's something wrong with their child is cursed. Well, let me tell you something. Your child is a gift, your child is special, your child is different, Yes, so they're a very beautiful gift because they have abilities that nobody else has. So please don't look at it as something that this is the end of the world. Yeah. It is not. It's the best thing you can ever have.
So now, like, let's be very realistic. It's very hard. Like, how do you tell some people are lucky to have very educated parents that when you tell them things like that, they make their research and they come up and say, I think we need to give you a support, we'll give you a lesson teacher, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. But there's some people, family support, like they don't have that standard support from their family. Like their parents feel like you don't have any excuse to fail. And see, there's another thing. There's some people that they're just unserious. It's not dyslexia that is doing them. But once they've heard about this, that's their new line now. Hey, why did you fail? Mommy, daddy, I'm having to. Meanwhile, they don't even make attempt. How do we even tell the difference between an unserious person and someone that actually has this thing?
It's another myth about dyslexia. They think that we're lazy and we're not trying enough. But that's actually not true. And then also, because like I talked about ADHD, because you get distracted a lot does not mean you have dyslexia. Because you feel sad a lot does not mean you are depressed. You get. So there's a big difference to it. I remember I saw one tweet on Twitter and this man was like, by the time we beat the dyslexia out of you, you'll be fine. Okay, no, he was saying that this is a lie. The child is actually lazy. Most of them are serious. Yes, very bad.
They don't want to believe. They feel like
don't want to believe that there are people out there that actually have challenges. So it is hard to be, for some parents, it's hard really bringing it in and making them understand about what is going on. But if you are looking for support, I think for me, everything, thank God for internet, to be honest. Like, just go to Google, go to YouTube, learn. I mean, for me, most of the support I've gotten throughout this pandemic, from the assessing techniques to the speech, everything I've gotten is from the people from the online community, other dyslexics I've met that are also striving with dyslexia without support in whatever country they are in. So I got a lot of help from the online community. So there's always a community online where you could, you have a safe place, actually, something like that, where you know that, okay, you're not alone in your struggles. So I think that's what I would say for that.
So as right now, what do you think, or how do you think teachers can help? And how do you think you can even create awareness for teachers also?
Like I said, the word dyslexia needs to be voiced out a lot. Because about 35 million Nigerians have it. So that's 1 in 10 people have dyslexia. So there's a lot of awareness that needs to go out. And because there's no awareness, people, even in schools, this system that are supposed to be the top people that are supposed to be aware of it, they don't know what dyslexia is. So really, what we're really hoping to see in Nigeria is that before they bring any teacher into the system, they need to be trained and they need to learn, okay, what is dyslexia, how does it affect a child, so that by the time they are in the classroom setting, they can identify a child that has by the time they can already, it's like
once you identify them, you know how you can.
They can already
up.
see a child that is showing maybe a symptom or two, or struggling with reading or struggling with writing. I mean, there's that. A lot of people not have to grow up their own lives.
I feel like teachers are supposed to be very observant. Like you are the
Yes,
ones that, especially from the primary institution, you mark the
most of them are
like,
just like normal every Nigerian
and
parent.
they
If you are now people that have dyslexia, what they call them in class is olodo.
Exactly.
They think that we cannot read, we cannot write, we don't know anything, but that's not true. We just need a different approach to learning, and that approach is good for everybody, benefits everybody. So
they have really come to the end, and from what I could take out from all of these things are, you might think that they're not making efforts to learning, sometimes you just look at yourself and feel like, why am I not intelligent? Like I read, I stay up, I do overnight, I read very hard. Why am I not passing? Why don't I remember? Why? I just want you to know that most of these things are not your fault. I'm not talking to the unserious ones, the deliberate unserious ones, because I feel like some people are going to now be using this one as an excuse when they are actually unserious. So TEMITOPE, is there anything you would like to add? Like, what would you say to someone who just found out from this video that, wow, they've actually been dyslexic, and they're just crying like, what am I going to, like, so this is what have been wrong with me? Why, like someone that can actually relate to everything you've said, what would you just like to leave before you leave? Like, what epic thing that you just dropped? Wait, you have dropped something. Do you get?
First of all, if you think that, if you suspect that you might be showing any of the symptoms, I think it's best to first confirm from a professional.
Okay.
Because that was one problem I had, after all the resources I had read through. And I already knew, but you always have to see
a professional.
Yes, you cannot go to a professional and say, I have malaria. You can't diagnose yourself, you have to see a professional. And also, I think that's the most important thing, actually. And like I said, once you're confirmed that you have dyslexia, you feel that you're not getting enough support, because there's no support here in Nigeria. Online, there's an amazing online community that is there waiting for you. So you can check out my neurodiverse world. I release content on several mental health challenges, so you can ask me anything. I can give you advice. After you see a professional, you're looking for maybe more help or assistance. Yes, so I'm here for you.
Wow, this is like an amazing time. Like, I had an amazing time. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for actually letting people out there know what the whole purpose of this video is, to create awareness for this, and I hope you have been fully informed from this video. Guys, now we've come to the end of the show. My name is Okewumi, and in case you want to reach out to TEMITOPE below, I will put all of our links in the description box below, so don't forget to check her out. Yeah, if you have not subscribed, you watch till the end. TEMITOPE, tell them. Tell them what they have to do.
Please subscribe.
That's all we can take today. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.